Hey everyone, I'm going live, and I just want to share with you just a little bit, um, just a biblical moment on the everlasting covenant. I just complete on the everlasting Abraham, which you can see on our Periscope channel. That is the Spirit of Yah's Periscope channel, and I just wanted to share just something brief in regarding this, because a lot of people just don't have the wherewithal or the patience to really sit down and be taught. For some reason, a lot of us want to be taught in sound bites, and I'm gonna do my best just to give a little sound bite here in regarding that. Okay. Uh, in Genesis the 12th chapter, we find that the Father appears unto Abraham, and he gives him a very interesting message here. And this is Genesis the 12th chapter, verse 1, and I'm going to read 3 verses here. Genesis 12:1 says, Now Yahuwah had said unto Abram, Get thee out of thy country and from thy kindred and from thy father's house into a land that I will show thee. And I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. Verse 3. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curseth thee, and in thee shall all the families of the earth be blessed. Now, you cannot even mention anything regarding an Abrahamic covenant without understanding the very top dynamic of this covenant. And that dynamic is found again in that 3rd verse, when he says, And I will bless thee that bless thee, and curse him that curse thee, and in thee shall all the families of the earth be blessed. So without the dynamic of all the families of the earth being blessed, there's no point in there even being an Abrahamic covenant, because that is a job that was given to Abraham that he would have to fulfill in order that the other aspects of that covenant exist. Okay? And that's a very important thing, because most Hebrew Israelites today do not understand that very important aspect of the Abrahamic covenant, okay? But that was given to our father Abraham, and it was passed down to Isaac, and it was passed down to Jacob. And these 3 ancestors lived according to this covenant. All right. So here I just gave proof in regarding Abraham receiving this, and I got 2 more places that I want to turn our attention to, and this is going to be pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. In Genesis the 26th chapter, as a matter of fact, Genesis the 26th chapter. Genesis 26th chapter, and I'm going to read the first 5 verses here. And believe me, it's amazing how when you just read a few verses and you let the Father deal with you on edifying you in them verses, you get a whole lot of understanding in regarding to what the Father is really saying, okay? And check this out. Here's an example. Genesis 26 chapter and verse 1, it reads, And there was a famine in the land beside the first famine that was in the days of Abraham. And Isaac went unto Abimelech, king of the Philistines, unto Gerar. And Yahuwah appeared unto him and said, Go not down into Mizraim, dwell in the land which I shall tell thee of. Sojourn in this land, and I will be with thee, and will bless thee, for unto thee and unto thy seed I will give all these countries, and I will perform the oath of Abraham thy father. Did you all get that? That's heavy. Again, in that 3rd verse, I'm going to pick it up in the middle. It says, And unto thy seed I will give all these countries, and I will perform the oath which I swear unto Abraham thy father. And I will make thy seed to multiply as the stars of heaven, and will give unto thy seed all these countries, and in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed. Okay? So even with us possessing the nations on the earth, it wouldn't be to their detriment. It will be to their blessing, because through Israel teaching the true, raw and uncut word of our Father Yah, all the nations of the earth will be blessed. And absolutely, it is through us that peace will dwell on this earth, through this right knowledge, not through politics, not through your voting, not through your marching, not through any of that. It is about time for us to take on the banner of the Father's righteous word, so that we can claim our heritage that was taken away from us from that Confederate that said that let us work so that the name of Yashrael may be no more in remembrance. Okay, that's Psalms 83. And that was the first Confederacy. And they gave it over to the second Confederacy, which is the Gentiles. But that's a whole nother lesson. A whole nother lesson that I'll be more than happy to break down at the time appointed. But at any rate, he says, verse 4, he says, and I will make thy seed to multiply as the stars of heaven, and will give unto thy seed all these countries. I want you all to think about this for a minute. We are considered a minority in this country, United States of America. I can imagine that in Mexico, in the different countries in South America, in Europe, like in France and England, and in Germany, and in countries in Asia, that we are the minority in every last one of them countries that we sojourn. But we're there, okay? Think about where you live at and ask yourself, where are the Russians here? Somebody tell me where the Russians live at. Where are I don't know, where do the Japanese live where you at? Where are they? Where are the point that I'm making is that we are in every last one of these countries. Everyone else is not everywhere. We're all throughout the continent of Africa. And every last one of them countries, we're there. So the point is that we are right now as the stars of heaven. But we don't comprehend that. In Canada, are we in Canada? Do we live in Canada? Where are we in Canada? Oh yeah, you could. Is that our door? Oh, where are we in that whole country of Canada? We're there, from the British Columbia on the west side of Canada, all the way to Ontario, where Toronto is, all the way even into Quebec, where Montreal is. We're all over the world. Wherever you go to Paris and say, hey, where do the blacks live here in Paris? Anybody be able to point to you where we are? You go to England. Where are we at in England? Somebody can tell me where we at. You right? They're over there. Germany. Where are we at in Germany? Oh yeah, they're over there. Russia. Where are we at? Black people in Russia? Yep. They live right over there. We're everywhere. So that aspect of the covenant is already being fulfilled, even though we are considered the minority in all of these countries we live in. But unlike everybody else, we're there. We're everywhere. So think about that. And it's just kind of weird that right now, based on everything that's going on, we see so many protests going on because of us in all of these countries. And I don't think that that is a coincidence either. Okay? Uh, and check this out. The next verse, verse 5 says, because that Abraham, your father Isaac, because we're talking to Isaac, the father's talking to Isaac. He's saying, because Abraham, which is your father, obeyed my voice and kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, and my laws. Wait a minute, you mean to tell me that there were commandments and there were laws and there were statutes that existed in Abraham's time before Shemaiah, aka Moses, before he had them on tables of stone? Absolutely there were. But see, doctrines tells us that these things came through Moses, aka Shemaiah. But even when Paul made the error in saying that, before the law, sin was not imputed or whatever, there was always law. And guess what? Sin was always imputed. Okay. And why do you think Adam and Eve was kicked out the garden? Sin was imputed. She said Cain and Abel, specifically Cain. Why was he given the judgment that he was given? Because sin was imputed. Why was Noah commanded to build an ark? And there was quite a few people destroyed in the flood because sin was imputed. Okay? Why was Sodom and Gomorrah destroyed? Because sin was imputed. In Genesis, the 15th chapter, when everybody runs to that chapter to read about the 400 years, and most people don't even understand what that's talking about, there's a thing says, but in a verse says, he tells Abraham that in the fourth generation, they will come here again because the iniquity, i.e. sin, of the Amorites have not come to full. And again, that right there in itself lets you know that 400 years was already past. It didn't have nothing to do with this 400 years right now. And again, just read the whole text and you understand that. But the point is that those Amorites, aka Canaanites, were still under a probationary period. Not a probationary period, but a period in which they had time to get themselves together. But the iniquity of the Amorites had not yet come to full until Israel come up out of that Mizraim captivity. And then it was time up for them. They would all be judged to be destroyed. Okay? And even in the destruction of the Canaanites, we find that there's some Canaanites that didn't die. Because even then, the blessings of Abraham fell on them so that they could also be a blessing. Rahab the harlot and everybody in her household. I don't even think they even say how many people were under the roof that were saved from destruction. But they joined themselves to the nation of Israel. And then you had the people called the Gibeonites that worked wildly or used trickery so that they wouldn't die like the rest of their Canaanite brothers. Guess what? The blessings of Abraham fell on them too because they believed. And they also joined themselves to the nation of Yashrael. Okay? Finally, and this is the last place, Genesis, the 28th chapter. So far we read where Abraham was told that through him and his seed, they would be a blessing to all nations. And Isaac was also told that, as we just read in Genesis, the 26th chapter. Now, finally, we turn our attention to Genesis, the 28th chapter. Genesis the 28th chapter, and the father is now talking to Jacob. Okay, so this is 3 generations that the father's giving the same exact message to, and Jacob is the one whose name was changed to Yashrael. Okay, he is the father of our nation, the promised seed nation. Okay, and here in Genesis the 28th chapter, it says, and 28th chapter and verse 16, it says, and Jacob awaked out of his sleep, and he said, surely Yahuwah is in this place, and I knew it not. And he was afraid and said, how dreadful is this place? This is none other but the house of Elohim, and this is the gate of heaven. And Jacob rose up early in the morning and took the stone that he had put for his pillows and set it up for a pillar and poured oil upon the top of it. And he called the name of that place Bethel, but the name of that city was called Luz at the first. Okay? And Jacob vowed a vow saying, I'm sorry. I skipped down. Hold on for a second. I started too low. Let me go up a little bit. Verse 13. Verse 13, I've got to go up a little bit. And behold, Yahuwah stood above it and said, I am Yahuwah Elohim of Abraham, thy father, and Elohim of Isaac. The land wherein thou liest, to thee will I give it, and to thy seed. And thou shalt be as the dust of the earth, and thou shalt spread abroad to the west, and to the east, and to the north, and to the south. And in thee and thy seed shall all the families of the earth be blessed. See, the original plan, brothers and sisters, was that Yashrael, or Israel, would absolutely be in the east, west, north, and south throughout all the world, doing the job as a priest nation, showing the world the truth concerning the Father, and bringing his peace in every place that we dwell in, so that all these dwellings can be blessed, so that the whole world would know who the true creator of heaven and earth is. But because we failed to do that which the Father had given us to do, the thing that we see right now in our present time is the Romans and their church, which is called Catholicism. And all of these groups, so-called Christian groups, come out of that mother church, Catholicism. But you go in every city, you're going to find Catholic churches. In just about every country, there are Catholic churches. The thing that they're doing is what we were supposed to be doing. See? And in all these Catholic churches, everybody else that don't have no understanding, they have no problem giving honor to Father so-and-so, Cardinal so-and-so. And even when the big dude come into town, whoever's holding that title of papacy, he gets all the respect in the world. But all they have done was spread paganism, Satan's doctrine throughout this whole entire world, because our forefathers failed to do the job that was given to them. And it pains me that my own people, my kinsmen according to the flesh, who are Israelites, to whom was given the services and the covenants and all of that you read about in Romans the 9th chapter, verse 2 or 3. They have no idea why we were chosen and what we were chosen for, because they haven't been taught this. Okay? But anyway, it was us that was supposed to be given this honor and high above everybody on this earth, while at the same time we will be a blessing to every nation on this earth. And see, I'm talking it, but we just read it. It's real clear. I'm just explaining it in my own words. So it ain't like me giving some type of doctrine, and we just read that. I'm not speaking nothing that we didn't read together. Okay, but anyway, let's see what he says here. And again, it's that last place. I'm in Genesis, the 28th chapter, and the 13th verse again. And behold, Yahuwah stood above it and said, I am Yahuwah Elohim of Abraham, thy father, and the Elohim of Isaac. In the land wherein thou liest, in thee will I give it to thy seed. And thy seed shall be as the dust of the earth, and thou shalt spread abroad to the west, to the east, and to the north, and to the south. And before I forget, guess what? Right now, we are a blessing to every place that we live in, but it just ain't to our benefit. The Father have absolutely fulfilled that word, but sadly, it's not been to our benefit. Because in every place that we are a blessing to all these places that we are, you know. And when certain nationalities come to America, they go to where we are, and we become a blessing to them, right? Because we buy up in their stores, because we don't know how to collectively work together to build up our own. There's a reason behind that. That's the reason why we keep saying the same thing that we have been saying ever since we've been over here, but yet we cannot formulate it because guess what? It's just not in us to formulate it. So other people that we don't even know come from wherever they come from, open up stores and businesses where we dwell at, and we buy from them. We are a blessing. You know, we are the only people on the face of this earth who came to this nation, the nation where the Statue of Liberty has a sign said, bring us your tired masses and all that stuff, welcoming immigrants. We didn't come here to prosper the way that they did. We came here to be a prey, i.e. blessing, to the real citizens of this land. And we are so much of a blessing to the real citizens of this land that we still carry their names on us to this day. That's just how much of a blessing we are to the citizens. And this is every place that we are. Because our brothers in France got them French names there. Our brothers in Germany got their German names there. Our brothers in Asia got Asian names there. See, some of y'all still trying to figure out why we still suffering under these conditions that we're suffering on, but every last one of y'all got a copy of the Bible, and all y'all need to have somebody teach y'all, or you just read it with understanding and pray that the Father give you the spirit to be able to understand that you're reading. Let me finish this passage out though. It says, verse 14 again, and thy seed shall be as the dust of the earth, and thou shalt spread abroad to the west, and to the east, and to the north, and to the south. And in thee and all thy seed shall all the families of the earth be blessed. So again, we read clearly that the same message was given to both Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And for some reason, those of us who the Father had waken up to understand who we are, many of us do not understand this dynamic that was given to us that we need to know and that we need to understand. But this is just a very short message that I'm giving in regarding the everlasting covenant of Abraham. Feel free to read, to hear, listen, watch part 1 and part 2 in this entirety, okay? And at that note, I hope you guys be blessed. And also let me say that we're doing a real work here in Jacksonville, Florida. And if it be in your heart to be able to donate to the work, okay? Our Cash App is $ the Spirit of Yah. And PayPal is the Spirit of Yah at yahoo.com. So on that note, I hope somebody got a little something out of what was shared today, and I wish blessings for all you all. Be safe.